So this is our basic issue. When the consciousness perceives and understands that perception to be something which it is not. That is the state of a sleeping consciousness. When consciousness perceives in accordance with the actual state of affairs, with reality, that is what we would call an awakened consciousness. But we must understand this not in a binary, homogeneous state. There are aspects of our consciousness. Some parts or aspects or layers are more awake and some other parts are not. In some aspects of our life, we may have more presence, more mindfulness, but when confronted with other types of perceptions and impressions, external or internal, we may have very little capacity to see the truth. Our folly, which we all possess, is that we end up creating a snare, a trap within our own mind. And then we get trapped inside of it. We create our own bondage, our own cage. And this is fundamentally based on these misapprehensions. Because when you see something, when you experience something, and then you respond in accordance with something that is not actually real, then you reinforce a pattern of energy, a pattern of behavior, a pattern of thinking, a pattern of feeling that is not based on the truth. So that misapprehension, then we respond either physically or emotionally or through thoughts. We respond in a way that is not in alignment or not with the truth. So we respond in a way that is a lie, that is false, that is based on ignorance. That application of energy, that behavior places into motion a certain pattern which is going to reinforce itself within our own mind. In a similar way that if you were to walk through the woods, a very thick part of the woods, every time you walk through that same area over and over again, it actually becomes easier to walk that same path. So every time we apply energy, every time we act, behave, think, feel in a way that is not in accordance with reality, we reinforce a deceptive, dreaming type of ignorance within ourselves, where it becomes easier and easier to go down those paths. So what becomes easy for our mind, what becomes quote-unquote natural, is precisely the thing that's causing us to remain ignorant. Now, ignorance is a very tricky thing, because in the moment of acting that way, it may feel good, it may feel pleasant. It may feel as if we are reinforcing something. We feel a sense of safety because it's familiar. And it's only later on when we have some response to the world appears. We get some negative effect. And because we have a limited capability of connecting the causes with the effects, that we remain confused as to the true source of our suffering. When we don't understand why our life is the way it is, this is a form of suffering. It's different than the form of suffering of someone who's undergone, some kind of painful torture, or some type of, sadness because they lost a loved one. Those are also, of course, forms of suffering. But the most pervasive is this type of existential malaise, a type of suffering that is subtle, but simultaneously the deepest and most profound. And it is this basic confusion, confusing the real for the unreal. And this is what it means to have a sleeping consciousness. And this is this is the common problem. This is the common issue. Now, reality is extremely complex and detailed, sophisticated. And so is our capabilities of our consciousness. So it's not easy. But it's important to at least know that there is a way through this and a way out of this.